Don't come to the club and start talking about what we've done in the past. Talk about what you haven't done anything.
Who's won a trophy this season? I said this season. You ain't got a trophy. This is like...
Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Pundits, and I'll be your host with the most. It's not even close. And I go by the name of Striva, so you can call me Striva. And I'm representing Arsenal, as you can see by the T if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, I'm sure you're very used to me saying the same thing over and over again. And when it's international duty, I'm representing England and I'm representing Nigeria. You'd be very glad to know that I'm not here rambling by myself. I'm joined by my fellow podcast pundit.
Yo, it's your boy Jovial, Nomadic, aka Liverpool's #1 supporter, aka we're coming back to the top of the league. It's all happening for us, boys. We're banging goals. Mo Salah's back to 10 out of 10 performances. I don't think there's that much more I can ask for other than not getting thrashed by PSG this week, but all's looking up, man. All's looking up.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Looking like you're fashioning some sort of unbeaten run in the Prem.
Yeah, if you could call it that way.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we're now joined with a now guest. It feels weird calling this fella a guest, man, because he's part of the furniture, man. He's a very familiar voice. He's someone that you guys know very well, but I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, it was Della, Strada, the man of many clouds, the man of many faces. I'm here. Support the guys. All good. But last time I was here, I did make reference to the host's introduction. I was like, have you heard about this introduction?
Hey, listen.
Has no one said anything about this introduction?
Not one word, you know?
I was actually going to ask you. I was going to say, yo, we now that you've heard it a few more times, is it growing on you?
Do you want to introduce
the host of the most is never closer.
Do you want to introduce us for old time's sake?
Yeah, man.
Old time's sake.
Take us down a freaking memory lane, man. Give us some nostalgia.
I've forgotten it.
You've forgotten it.
I've forgotten it, bro.
It was, hey, hello, hi.
Oh,
Hey, hello, hi. Whatever country you're from. Aquava.
I don't know, man. Let the listeners. That's what I'm saying. If you can remember it, man.
Okay.
Give us your one, man. Let's do a host off.
Okay. Cool. Give me a countdown then.
Come on, in 3, 2, 1. Action.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, whatever time you're watching, welcome back to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I'm your host, Della Strada. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
You don't lose it. You don't lose it, bro. It's like riding the bike.
You know what? Yeah, because I heard it for so long, it was like, oh shit, man, that sounded like home. I know, man. I don't know why. You know, like even at the time, I kept beefing that intro in it.
Yeah, bro. It's an unnecessary rebel, bro.
Yeah, I'm really unnecessary, man. But yeah, man, we're here, man.
You started as a bit jovial.
You know what?
All things being considered. You know, a lot of people are waiting for you to do your 2-pack, Dear Mama. So they're a bit baffled now.
Especially compared to last week.
Exactly, bro. Both of us.
No, well, look, before we get into it, let me let you guys know where you can find us. Well, tell your friends and your family where to find us, because if you're listening or you're watching, the likelihood is you've probably found us already. But look, we're on every or most digital streaming platforms. I'd like to think it's every, but we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon platforms, Google platforms. Just wherever you take in your podcast, search Podcast Pundits, you'll find us there. And on YouTube, obviously, you can watch our the visuals. And on social media, Instagram is Podcast Pundits _, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Podcast Pundits _, and on TikTok and Facebook is Podcast Pundits. So yeah, man, just tune in. Look, we need you to start looking back in as well, man. You guys are getting a little bit more complacent.
Yeah, for sure.
Still,
for
yeah.
Sure,
you guys are like, I'm seeing you guys. Like, we can see in the background that you guys you're passing through. The traffic's coming through, but you guys you're not liking anymore. You're not commenting as much. You know what I mean? Well, guys, man, you need to let us know you're there, man. Let us know you're there, because obviously we've been rocking for a while now, but we still love the encouragement, man. So yeah, obviously, I don't know if I'm happy. I don't know if I'm not. I think I'm just, you know what it is, yeah? I'll just start off. I'll just go into a little, I I don't know what do you call it? Like what's a monologue? Yeah, a quick monologue. Yeah. It's not that I'm happy. I'm just somebody that has faced reality early. The reality for me is this is what my club does. Arsenal Football Club. We tend to, I don't know. We tend to kind of like wet the bed, for want of a better phrase. And sometimes we get across the line. And when I say sometimes, I'm talking years and years and years ago, like back when I was a teenager. Nowadays, we tend to kind of stumble a little bit. So when I see it happening, I just get myself ready early. So, I was getting myself ready for a parade. And then I started to get myself ready for maybe not a parade. And I started doing that the moment we lost to Manchester City. And, it's football at the end of the day. We can maybe win it. We might not win it. We'll talk about it in the podcast episode. I'm not going to give you all of my views right now. I want to chop it up with Della and I want to chop it up with Joey. And then, man, we'll get to the bottom of how I'm feeling. I'm going to give the floor to Della first, because obviously Della, the man of many club faces, as he calls himself. Two of his club faces is Manchester City and Arsenal, and obviously we know Newcastle is.
The other one got whooped by Crystal Palace.
yeah. So I suppose we can we'll leave Newcastle alone for. But now, so obviously having two faces, where one is Manchester City, the other is Arsenal. Obviously, you like both clubs for whatever reason. I think one's for Pep, if I remember correctly, and obviously you just like Arsenal because you like an underdog story. You like the football that Arsenal present. You like I think you just like the culture with the club. Yeah. You was on the pod. You've been on the pod. You know everything. How Joey feels about what's going on. You know how I feel about what's going on. I feel like we know I feel like we knew what you were saying, but we ain't caught up with you for a little bit. So where are you in regards to this? Like, where are you in regards to this title race? Where are you in regards to Arsenal versus Manchester City? Are Arsenal about to bottle it again? Is Pep about to claim his ninth?
Yeah.
Will it be ninth Premier League?
Eighth, I think eighth.
Ninth Premier League?
I think it might be eighth.
Premier League?
No.
Premier League title?
Can't be ninth.
No, he won 6 out of 7. So I think it'll be seventh. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, basically, I put something in one of the group chats today, talking about Arsenal and where they currently stand, and I feel like obviously in certain situations, context is required, but it's not relevant.
Right.
So the context being against in a Carling Cup. Firstly, if you start with the lineup. The lineup wasn't the greatest.
Yep.
But then again, you're left with,
just for reference.
I know what I said.
Okay. I thought you might need to remember what you said.
No, yeah. But obviously, in that situation, these guys threw me off.
Sorry. You're saying the team selection?
Yeah. But that was it wasn't out of choice because you didn't have Odegaard, you didn't have Eze. So first off, it was relatively even. The second half, City was like, okay, these men have got no one that's going to come and pick up the ball. So if we just literally block the line of passes, it's good. And then sometimes you can blame the manager, sometimes you can blame the players. And I feel like, personally, I will always blame the manager if you don't platform your team correctly to go out and do what they need to go and do.
Right.
So in the first half, okay, his hands were tied. But in the second half, when you see that Nketiah is on a yellow card, make the substitution as soon as second half.
Yeah.
So Calafuri can come on. So those situations, you can blame the manager.
Yeah.
FA Cup, that team was good enough to beat
Southampton.
Yeah, 100%.
I know people say, "Oh, why didn't you play? Why wasn't Saka on the bench, or why wasn't Rice on the bench?" Yeah. They weren't on the bench because, as you can see, Saka's still not even available.
Yeah.
So that's 2 defeats, but then you're thinking that's 2 defeats in 2 different competitions.
Yeah.
The last time there was a Prem, Man City had drawn 2 games and Arsenal won 2 games.
Yeah.
Leading up before the last game in the Prem. So you can see how football just sort of changes. But and obviously prior to that, Eze was still available and Eze was getting into form. But then when you don't have those players available where someone is willing to come and pick up the ball, I know a lot of Arsenal fans are not big fans of Odegaard, but not saying the results have been different, but the style of play may have been a bit different. When City are doing that blocking, and at least Odegaard will say, okay, right, I don't mind coming to collect the ball.
Yeah.
But when you've got Rice, Zubimendi, we're talking about him later, but they don't feel comfortable to come and pick up the ball right now.
Yeah.
So the context is what I'm trying to say is that the context is Arsenal, unfortunately, and it seems like every season around this period, the players drop off due to injuries. Obviously, back in a couple of seasons ago was Saliba, but now Arsenal, you felt they built enough the squad depth.
Is it still a coincidence for you?
No. It's a mixture of both. So they built the squad depth, but the squad depth needs to be available. But then there's no point in buying players or like, okay, on paper it's squad depth.
Yeah.
But if your manager's but in reality it's not.
Yeah,
because your manager he doesn't play. There's no point in buying Norgard, who I thought was
a good player, man.
Was a good player. I understand why people questioned it.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, you've seen this guy play week in, week out in the Prem.
Yeah.
So if you're buying it, that means you trust him to do a job for you.
Yeah. Because I remember because I think you were hosting the pod around pre-season, and I was questioning our midfield and questioning those purchases, and I think you were definitely an advocate for the purchase because Norgard was Prem proven.
Yeah.
He's a captain from Brentford, whatnot. So obviously I cut you, but now you see that a man like Norgard hasn't really been utilised as much as maybe he could have and should have. I suppose, is that a case where Norgard just isn't up to speed with the top level in the Prem? Or is it a case where, like I feel like you were alluding to saying that we've got squad depth, but we haven't because the manager's not using it. Yeah. So then are we pointing fingers at Arteta now?
I'm pointing to both. In this situation, I'm pointing to Arteta because really and truly, you've been in this situation 3 or 4 times. You know, like the home straight is very important. Hence why we thought, okay, the beginning of the season, instead of you going to buy like it is like and spending your money on just one player, you said, I'm going to increase the depth of the squad. So if you've increased the depth of the squad now, utilize it. Otherwise, you're going to get to this period where it's the home stretch, and people talk about Zubimendi. Zubimendi, this is his first season in the Prem. First half of the season, he was okay. He's naturally tailed up because he normally has a winter break. Yeah, he's never been in a situation whereby Real Sociedad are playing Champions League, domestic cups, and competing for the league. Yeah. So that's, I think, in terms of minutes, he's played the most minutes for an outfield player. And that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think the most games he's played in a season is 48, and he's currently on 47 games.
Yeah, and there's games, and also we don't know how many minutes that is as well. So there in itself lies a problem, because as the manager, and especially you being a Spanish person, we have a winter break. So for that reason, factor a winter break by bringing in someone else that can take the load off Zubimendi. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to get this whereby you can see he just looks mentally fatigued, physically fatigued. He just looks out of it.
But he did all of those things that you're saying. He just not using it. It's like, for example, you've got insurance, but when your phone screen breaks, you don't want to take it.
Yeah,
you don't want to use your insurance to cover
it. In theory, we're saying, okay, Arsenal have squad depth, but in practical terms, the manager hasn't utilised it. Hence why the Saka one is questionable, because he's obviously not injury prone, but last couple of seasons he's had back-to-back injuries.
From the hamstring. From the hamstring.
But the midfield situation, I felt like Rice and Zubimendi haven't been rested at all.
No.
And even I said what I said about Eze. Okay, Eze picked up form, but even when he was available, you didn't utilise him. Yeah. You had Martinelli, who in the Prem hasn't really been that well. Champions League, cool, it's another story.
Yeah.
Trossard started off well in the Prem, but he's tailed off. Eze had two games on the left, one good game against Nottingham Forest, one bad game against Aston Villa, and that was it. He wasn't using them again.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I would like to think that if these players were available, he'll use it. Yeah. But I feel like I can't. I don't know.
You can't, based on what you've seen.
Based on what I've seen, but based on just the fact that Eze was picking up form before he got injured and he's playing in that centre. Yeah. Cool. I feel like he would have been used in that centre. So yeah, when I say it's context, that's context. But then again, does it matter? No, because you did what you did at the beginning of the season, and you haven't utilised that, and you put yourself in the same position again. Yeah. Where your players. I get back in the day, okay, Saliba got injured, unfortunately. You didn't have the level in holding to like balance it. But all these players are now yours. If you wasn't a fan of Norgard, why bring him? He uses Madueke, so you can't question that signing. But it's just that midfield one I just don't understand. And then Ethan went out on loan. You don't use MLS. And now all of a sudden, the players that are currently playing MLS, potentially Ben White, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
He's been in the cold.
Yeah.
When there was times you could have played him, you didn't play. You literally played Timber until he's broken. And bear in mind, Timber just came out from injury last season. So all of these things, that's why I say it. And I've always said the same thing with my critique about Arteta, is that he doesn't utilise his squad enough.
Yeah. So obviously with all that being said, and then we've seen Pep, who I think on the contrary, he uses his squad pretty well. As in, I think in the beginning of the season, he was trying out different iterations of his team. You know, like sometimes you're looking at the team formation, especially if you're like someone like us. I know you're not playing it so much now, but playing FPL, sometimes it's difficult to pick City players in your FPL team because you don't know who's going to play at some point. You like Foden, for instance, all of a sudden he's in the cold. Yeah, but this is a manager that he seems like he gives all of his players like different runouts at different times, and then
in different positions as well.
In different positions, and it seems like they're gelling at the
right time.
But
the thing with that, the thing with that is that what you can't sleep on is, remember, like at the start of the season, admin done the whole thing about who's got the best right winger.
Yeah,
Madueke and Saka versus Salah, and I think at the time Harvey Elliott was still there, so it was Harvey Elliott.
Or was it Chiesa?
Or Chiesa, yeah. And then Man United, and then Man City. City, who was it?
It would have been
Savinho and
Foden.
No, it wasn't even Foden. It was the guy that just came out from injury, but they've now sold him to Norway.
Oh, Oscar Bob.
That was that. Now, which one of those two plays on the right?
Yeah, neither.
None. So the point I'm making is that we can talk about what City have done, but we can't sleep on the fact that he's tried to utilize all these players, but when it doesn't work, he's like, okay, cool. The two informed players, Semenya, come. Gay, come. Because if you don't have those two now, who's playing on the left or right? He doesn't fancy Mamush.
Yeah.
On the right now, he's playing Semenya on the right. It's none of those two players that were mentioned.
True.
And I'm sure Grealish is on loan, right?
No. He's on loan.
Yeah, so we can't sleep on the fact that you broke the transfer record for a player who's now on loan and you bought him 2 seasons ago. So the point I'm making is that he has a luxury of saying, you know what, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. It's not working. Hey, boss man, get me some new players.
Arsenal have that same luxury as well.
How?
I was going to say that, like, I don't know if I say the same luxury, but it's a similar luxury, like, because we're buying players.
Yeah.
In terms of Arsenal's buying players.
Not the same, because let's not forget, Marmoush has only bought, you bought
90 million last Jan.
Yeah, Grealish was bought, what, 3 seasons ago or something?
3 seasons ago,
3 seasons ago. Playing on left. He won the treble, now he's gone. He's still on their books on loan.
Yeah.
Marmoush has now he came in January.
Yeah,
it's not working out.
But Pep started, this is why I give Pep some kudos, because he started working on this team from last year, Jan, when Liverpool was running away with it. He done this season what he tried to do last season, which was he bought Marmoush last season on the left, and he also bought Kuznov as a centre back
and another Brazilian centre back.
You know what I'm saying? So he did the same thing last season.
Yeah.
And then so now you're thinking, okay, this is my team, and they also invested in someone. They bought Reinders. So no one has the luxury of Shirky.
Yeah.
No one has the luxury of what Man City can do, because Grealish is still on their books.
Yeah.
Who can Arsenal get rid of and still
wait, but how much does, if we add up everything here, I think they paid like 90 million, 85 million for Marmoush. I think it was like 30 for Kuznov.
Yeah.
I think it was like 18 million for the Brazilian guy. I don't know what that total is, but I'm assuming Strives is tallying that up.
Yeah.
And then this summer they paid, I think it was like 40 to 50 for Randers, 30 for Shirky, and 60 for Semenyo, 30 for Gerhi.
Yeah.
Any rough idea what it is? It's probably about 250 million, I'm going to say. Arsenal can spend that money, but I think the difference is that Arsenal probably load up in the summer and in the January, just like Liverpool. For some reason, they're afraid to sign players in January.
They potentially have to like sell to buy. But the point I'm making, you didn't have to sell Grealish. You said bring in Mamouche.
Yeah.
Mamouche ain't working. Bring in Semenya.
They don't have to sell to buy.
You know what I'm saying? So bear in mind, and if Gay wasn't available, who's playing centre back for Man City right now? Obviously Kuznov and maybe Ake or whoever.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been able to plug the gaps.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's unfortunate, but this is, as much as I rate Pep and I love it for what he does, but this is what everyone has to deal with.
But I do think I think it's a skill in being able to identify the need for those players and the right player for those things. Because
not necessarily,
because I've questioned why don't like you probably questioned it at Liverpool.
But you can identify until the cows come home. But if you're not able to free up the purse strings to get those players over the line, which is what I think is the case at Liverpool and Arsenal.
I don't know that is the case at I don't know about Liverpool
just in January, anyway. Yeah, specifically for January. For January, sorry.
For January, yeah, but because we haven't seen either of our clubs make any moves. But I mean, in the summer, it didn't look like we was going to sign Eze.
Yeah,
it didn't look like we were gonna, and then Havertz goes down injured, and then all of a sudden we find the money for Eze and he's at the club. Meaning we could have always signed Eze and we could have done that a lot earlier.
But the difference is that like something has to happen for a Liverpool or Arsenal to say, let's bring someone else in. Man City don't have to wait for someone to get injured. They don't even have to wait for someone to leave.
But I think that's my criticism.
No, but it's different.
You get what I mean? Because I'm saying, like, why does it have to take something like that for Arsenal to act? I don't know what Liverpool's excuse is.
It's two different extremes. It's not everyone is as fortunate as Man City. So you know what? And I keep on repeating.
No, everyone cheats.
That. But,
it's not confirmed. Yeah.
And you can say
like it has been for Chelsea.
And you can say that he's able to identify these players, but he identified Grealish. Grealish is no longer there.
Yeah.
He identified Mamouche is now on the sub.
And Savinho's down as well.
You know what I'm saying? He identified Savinho, but he was meant to be against Tottenham Spurs last this summer. So it's not a thing of like.
But they kept him just in case.
Yeah, I'm sure Arteta.
Again, I rate that.
I'm sure Arteta will say, you know what, I bought my Madueke, but I'm not feeling the same way.
No, Arteta wouldn't.
No, I'm sure he would like to say that and say, you know what, hold the bench. Let's bring someone better.
He could be saying that behind closed doors. No, he could be.
Any manager would. I'm not saying that he doesn't rate Madueke. I'm just giving that example. The same way Pep is like.
Not any manager. Arne Slot does not want to let go of Gakpo, bruv. Not any manager.
But the point I'm making is that not everyone has the same luxury as Man City, whereby it has to be extreme for people to balance the ball.
I got you. So, all right. So,
just on that though, I think every manager will know that they don't have the same luxury.
Yeah. So they have to play smart.
Exactly, and
you got to play the cards that you're dealt.
But he played smart by signing the squad depth, but he's not playing smart currently because he's not utilising that squad depth.
And then also, even if we bottle up everything that Della's just said to us, because I think it's definitely like credence on what he's saying. But so we bottle that up and then we take that forward and we're like, okay, cool. So with what Pep's got available to him, with what Arteta's got available to him, Arteta was able to amass a lead, amass a style of play that made Arsenal formidable
and made everyone else sick.
Made everybody else sick, bored to the whatever, yeah. And Manchester City were kind of emulating a similar style, but at the same time, they had a little bit more of a hybrid where they're a little bit more enjoyable to watch because they've got a little bit more players with that maybe X factor. So
yeah.
And we've got to a point now where City seem like they're falling away. So with everything you said, Della, all that nuance, that context, which again, I think it's valid. I think there's credence in there. How have we got to a point now? Or are we saying that's the reason why City are able to catch up and Arsenal can amass that kind of advantage, and it now looks like I think most people would say that, would argue the momentum's with City.
Yeah, it's definitely it definitely is with City, but and as I'm saying, I think it's a mixture of the manager has to take blame because I said there's sometimes where I don't think he platforms the team correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the game against Bournemouth, the first game, you by choice, when you've got options available to you, you don't start with Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli on the pitch at the same time. That is just local. That's just
Madueke, Gyökeres and
Martinelli. They're just runners. No
retention.
You're basically saying
ball retention is low. And if you're going to do that,
you're not looking to kick ball.
Yeah. But if you're going to do that, then you can't try and say let's control the game because these men they just want chaos. So be more direct. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to do that, you need to change your style of play. But he's selecting these personnels, and there's the approach is still the same. Let's build up slow. Madueke does go over the top.
Yeah.
Let me chase it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, so that's to say, when you set the team up like that, I have to say, you know what, this is your fault. But there's times where you set the team up correctly and the players just don't turn up. So that's what I'm saying. It's a mixture.
Wolves game is an example.
Wolves game is an example of that. But even then, I think he still started Madueke on the right And that's the saying he played Saka in the middle instead of playing Eze.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I think, because I think the Saka in the middle, was that the first time he tried that experiment?
Second time, because
No, it was the FA Cup.
done it in FA Cup.
And the FA Cup, he got away with it.
Got away with it because Eze came on and scored.
Yeah.
In the centre. So that's what I'm saying. So sometimes I'm like, but Gaffer, why did you then put him in the centre again? And rather than moving your best player out of position to play in a position where you can play someone that's available,
yeah.
Why do that?
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not saying that's the sole reason they lost, but
you're left questioning the decision.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Manager, do better. But then there's times when the setup is correct, but the players just don't turn up.
All right. So on this weight of scale, and based on what you've explained to me, I feel like I know what the answer is based on what you've told me. But on a weight of scale, just from your mouth, your words, culpability lies with players or the gaffer when it comes to Arsenal.
As in where they are where they are now.
Percentage. Percentage-wise.
In this situation, Arsenal find themselves in today.
Which is still a good situation.
Yeah, it's still a good situation, because if you ask any Arsenal fan at the start of the season, would you take this? They'll say yes. Is this how it is now? Is that momentum is swung?
If you ask any team would they swap with you, everyone will say yes.
Yeah, because you're in the driving seat. In terms of culpability, I would say more towards the manager, because you settle the team. But I would say maybe 65-45 in the manager, or maybe 70-30. Only because I feel like there's some games, if you had platformed the team better, they would have won those games instead of drawing it.
Right.
So if you had won those games instead of drawing it, you're you have that cushion that you need to go in for the home straight. So you could have maybe lost to Bournemouth and maybe lose to City, but you still have like 6 points.
Yeah.
So you said 60-40?
65.
Yeah, let's say 60-40 or 70. Let's say 60-40 in favour of
the manager
leaning more towards the manager, being more culpable, because as I said, with all the players that Arsenal have signed, they have all the keys necessary.
Yeah.
But sometimes he picks the wrong locks to try and he picks the wrong keys to try and unlock the door.
Yeah.
And that's where you go wrong, because you've got the likes of Eze. Why is Kai Havertz playing in the tennis over Eze?
Yeah.
You're playing against a low block. Why is Eze not playing Eze's on the bench? Why are you playing a low block and you're playing kamikaze forwards who don't want to hold the ball?
100%.
My understanding of your relationship with Arsenal is that it's not really an emotional more, it's more of a logical one. You like the way they play and everything. When you sort of watched the Bournemouth game, was there any emotional, did it draw out any emotions in you, or did it make you think outside of how you would usually view that game, in terms of just like it being April and it being that time where things don't go great for them and it happening?
Like I saw the lineup and straight away I was like, the same thing I said in that message. It's not looking good, bruv.
Yeah.
Because Bournemouth have had that 20-30 days rest or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're a good team. They press.
They're in good form as well.
They haven't lost a game for 11 or X amount of games.
Yeah.
And your midfield is Zubimendi, who's off form. Rice, you can see Rice. You can tell he's not 100%. And then
how many times has he been captain?
That was.
Well, Rice.
Yeah,
and even that was the first time I've seen him.
He's probably been captain.
I think he's been captain before.
When like all the other players are off, but even that one, I'll come to that, because I feel like be serious.
Yeah, because I asked on the day, but I didn't really get a response, because I didn't know. I was surprised to see him as captain.
So again, I'll say something on that. But in terms of all of that, I just felt you saw the lineup and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. That means Eze's not available. Odegaard's not available, so you're playing Havertz in there, and it's like, okay, based on what you have available, what else could you have done? Cool, that's your approach you've done there. That's your approach, and again, change your style of play.
Yeah,
don't be playing from the back. Just go direct to Havertz. Win the first ball.
He's good in the air.
Good in the air. Win the ball. Then focus on second balls. Have a different approach, but you can't have this. So let's play from the back, because unless Odegaard is there or Eze is there, no one's coming to pick up the ball. Zubimendi's there. So in terms of when I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's not looking good. But then I thought, if you can see out until half time, then be able to bring on Eze, okay. But then I think he fumbled the bag by making 3 subs instead of 2. You didn't need to make 3 subs at once, because anyway. But in terms of Rice, again, it comes down to, you can't be sentimental. You did it in the Carabao Cup by playing Kepa, and now because it's Rice's 100th game, you made him the captain. You shouldn't. Is
that why?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why, because Gabriel, if Odegaard's not playing, Saka's not playing, it usually goes to Gabriel.
Wait, what?
And if those people are not on the pitch, then maybe. And this is my assumption.
That's an interesting observation because
This
I
is my
didn't even
assumption.
clock that.
Yeah.
That's my assumption because maybe Rice has never started as captain. He's only been given an armband when certain players come off. Usually it'll be Gabriel when Odegaard and Saka's not there. So Gabriel's on the pitch. Why are you giving it to Rice? And I'm assuming it's because it's his 100th game.
What do you think of Rice as a captain, Joey? Because obviously, if you've asked that question, I'm guessing it's a leading question.
No, before you ask that, but what did you think of Rice being captain at the time during the game? Obviously, I'm assuming that's not the reason, and you didn't know that was the reason as the 100th game. What was you thinking?
Essentially, it's the same question I just asked you.
No, but I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. That's why I asked Sam.
I don't. I think Rice is too emotional to be captain. Like I think what's happened in at Arsenal, and especially with the media, is sometimes we play into it a little bit. So you'll notice, that you saw like clips going around with TikTok videos going around in the training ground. To me, that just speaks towards that you're buying into social media a little bit more than you should do. Because if you as the gaffer are thinking, all right, let me try and get into these guys' heads and let these guys know that they're bigger than life, they're these gargantuan personalities.
And when I mention that, you guys are loved and these are the people that you need to play for.
Maybe, but I don't know that. In my opinion, again, it's just an opinion. Like my opinion is not the holy grail, but it's like, do you need to stamp that opinion home via TikTok clips or Instagram reels or what have you not? It just feels like if we're going to social media to show you the love, then also social media will show you the hate as well. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like Anthony Joshua says it a lot when he's trying to. I'm not saying trying to as to say like he fails, but when he's trying to keep balance there, he will be like, look, don't get too gassed by your wins and don't get too distraught by your losses kind of thing. That way you keep a balance. He says it in a different way kind of thing. But if you're going to go to social media to show people how much you're loved, then I'm guessing social media is the same place you go to when you're getting your criticism from. And I say all that to say, with Declan Rice, he's very much a social media darling. Yeah. Like, every minute he's doing our interviews. Like, he's doing interviews with Tom, Jerry, Greg, whoever. Yeah, he would sit down and he will have an interview with you. You know what I mean? Slap a camera in front of him, he's our PR guy.
Don't even make the mistake of playing any bashment songs. Right?
yeah, he's that guy. And then you've got like former club captains like Tony Adams or what have you not, like criticising the current club captain and saying it should be Declan Rice. So in my mind, if I'm correct and thinking that they buy into social media a little bit too much, Declan Rice is probably feeling like, yo, I'm captain's elect, so like, I'm that guy. So you finally get that armband and whatnot. And if I believe you're a little bit too emotional, which I do, you're now doing a little bit too much. So all of a sudden you're like doing we already see, like, because the camera will pan to you, and if Arsenal or bottle it or any fixture, he's just like, oh no, it's not. He'll be like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Slapping the floor.
Making it known that he's not happy, so that we as the fans can get on the same side as him and be like, yeah, Declan Rice is not happy, man. That's the epitome of a leader. What have you not? Whereas sometimes I'm like, I don't really care for the theatrics. I just care what you bring me on the pitch or what have you not. So when I see you like berating your teammates, or don't get me, there was one time when on TV Gabriel fizzed it to him and he was on a touchline. It was a little bit.
You went off in it.
Yeah, he went off, and he was like, "Oh, bro, calm down." But again, it was just a little bit like, it's too much. Like, I think
you're reading a bit too much.
I think
maybe,
so.
But this is something that this isn't isolated. It's not that he just done it in this game. Yeah. Like, do you remember there was I can't remember. You might remember better than me. Cause I feel like you're a bit more of like a football encyclopedia than me. There was a game where it might even have been the Tottenham game. I can't remember. There was a game where this guy's too busy like ordering other people's steps, and then he makes a mistake.
It was Tottenham game.
Yeah, it was Tottenham game.
It was a Tottenham game. So he does it a lot, like where he likes to visually show that he's a leader or what have you not.
That's how I am as a captain.
And
so
sometimes I feel like it's so emotional that I'm like, I don't know that you have the calm head to lead here. Whereas with Odegaard, he more so leads via his actions, by example. So does Saka. So when I see him getting the captaincy ban, I'm just like, okay, let's see how this works. But in my mind, I'm like, you're not ready to be captain yet. You will be a captain, but you're not ready to be captain yet. That's how I felt.
Why yet? Why do you think that?
Because I just feel like he plays the occasion. He plays the moment. He doesn't like. I don't feel like he's like, the role of being a captain is lead. Lead by example. Yes, you're gonna have to remonstrate with your team sometimes, but it can't get into a bickering, because after a while, if I say something to you, Della, and you say something back, then I say something back. It doesn't look like communication.
That's
anymore.
not leadership.
It looks like an argument.
It's not, but then at the same time, it's people question. Like, I think Odegaard's fine as captain, you know, because he leads by example. People like the whole Declan Rice because he runs, he shouts, he does all these things, but there's different variations of a captain. But I do feel like sometimes Arsenal can see the guy and look around and look at the players. No one like remonstrates with each other. Everyone's just like, okay, let's get that.
Yes.
But you need someone to say like, guys, this is not good enough.
Fuck it up.
You know what I'm saying? This is like a Roy Keane. It's like, and if we have to argue, on the pitch, because we both want to we reach the same end goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Rice is, and I think he's just frustrated knowing that this is going to be 3 or 4 years in a row. And we keep on doing the same thing. They're going to be calling us bottle jars. They're going to be doing this. They're going to be doing that. And you guys are not running.
Is he doing it for the club, or is he doing it to... So this is, I suppose, and again, I might not be being fair. That's why I asked Joey what you think. I might not be fair. Is he doing it for the club, or is he doing it so that I look like what you just said? I want to be the Roy Keane of the club.
No, I think he's doing it. He's doing it because he wants to win.
Yeah, because he wants to win. And whether you're doing it because of me personal or because I want to be the Roy Keane of the club, the end goal is winning.
Then perform, because I'm not going to lie to you. Declan Rice.
But yeah, you know, I didn't actually ask for that, because I was asking in terms of the news that I wanted to know what you thought before you heard about the 100 caps and what you thought of it. And then now knowing that there's potentially the decision was made because of the 100 caps, how does that make you feel as a supporter?
What, that he make it
By the way, that's not a fact. That's
I'm saying if that's potentially the case.
If it was for sentiment, then I mean, it's not rocket science where I'm at in regards to our club. I think our club is great. I thought we're just a strike away from winning like the big trophies,
the majors,
and that could still prove to be correct. But I've always said, if it's not to be the case, it would be because of the gaffer. And I don't just say that because I've got this thing against him. I go all the way back to even the 2021-22 season, when Arsenal fell to... We looked like we was going to be top 3, and we failed to finish in top 4 spaces. We finished 5th in that season.
Yeah, I remember. No Champions League,
And again, April, we were like poor. Like in the final stretch, we just seemed to run out of gas. So I was like, something's not right here. All right, the following season, when I first kind of piloted that thought process, it looked like there was egg on my face immediately, because we're top for so long of that season. 97 or 93% of the season, we end up. Funny enough, a similar formation of games that we're facing now, Sporting, Southampton, City, we end up fumbling there. Again, I'm thinking, all right, this guy is starting to show me that he might not be able to cross the line. Now, I might just give you the headline, this guy can't cross the line, but it's for the reasons that Della was describing before.
Yeah.
Some of these things that he's doing, these aren't isolated. These are things that he's been doing season upon season upon season. Yeah. And I don't know if you can call it an uncanny coincidence that in April, Arsenal failed to have more than a 50% win rate in their games, especially in the Premier League. I think that has to be studied. There has to be a reason. Why are we so poor at the business end of the season? Why are our players dropping like flies at the business end of the season? Is it because you're not building your team correctly? Is it because you're not trusting your players correctly? Is it because you're stubborn and or do you get so fixated on, okay, we're playing so well, and maybe that pressure to win is so much that okay, we're doing well like here, I don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna keep playing that team because I know that I can trust this team. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're a coach.
Yeah.
Like, is it now like when like for instance, Miles Lewis Skelly, he's had his breakout season. It looks like he's been found out. In some respects, like people kind of know how to play him now. PSG kind of was the first team to kind of exploit MLS's deficit, so to speak. Yeah. Then everyone started doing it, and it's like with Arsenal. The annoying thing with supporting Arsenal is like when somebody clocks us, it's like everyone copies it, and it's like we don't find the antidote quick enough.
No, but that's all teams though, man.
No,
I think that's all because it happened to Man City, it's happened to Liverpool as well.
I don't know that if it happens as quick as it does to to Arsenal. Like Man City showed that. All right, cool. Don't press.
That weren't quick though.
Yeah, it's
that last 8 games of the season, bro. Yeah,
I don't know about Della, Joey. It happened in the Carabao Cup final. All of a sudden, I'm seeing Bournemouth doing it in the second half.
But what I'm saying is, it's the last game.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
no. It's taken the whole season.
Yeah, it's taken a genius like Pep to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's thought, all right, we're going to do that.
But at the same time, this is the context is that they've clocked it, but then Arsenal, whether it's Arteta's fault or whatever, you don't have the creative players that you want to say, all right, guys, you want to go that deep?
Exactly, yeah.
Odegaard, let me pick up the ball. Eze, let me pick up the ball. Wanyeri, let me pick up the ball. Or even MLS, like, but you could be creative and say, you know what I'm saying, you don't have those players there, okay? Eze's injured or Odegaard's injured, but you can say, MLS, you're comfortable on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You can in that situation, I would have played Rice and Norgard, and then okay, if you want to play Havertz, you're playing Havertz. But then you're saying Norgard, you're like a decoy. The real person that's going to get onto the ball is MLS. When MLS gets the ball, just sit there. Then he's not exposed as much as that. But at least you have someone that's comfortable saying, okay, I'm going to pick up the ball.
But essentially, yeah, Della, at the top of the episode, you said this, like, Mikel Arteta doesn't show an adaptability quick enough. He doesn't show that he's able to adapt his playing style to even his team selection. Hence, like, for instance, if you, like you said, if you see a Martinelli, a Noni, a Gyökeres, and then obviously Havertz playing in the 10, you have to play direct, but he doesn't show an adaptability to do that. And that's what I mean. Like, it's like, why is it so quick for people to just be like, do you get what I mean? So
in his defense, though, it's been 2 games.
It's been 2 games, but
2 games out of 3 where.
But remember what we're talking about. If we're leading on my point is it's always in April.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying like, I don't think it's an uncanny coincidence anymore. I feel like there's something about this period of the year where I don't know why Arteta doesn't seem to cope with it well.
When was the Carabao game? Final, sorry. That was March, right?
Yeah, ending of March.
So, but in the April, so I think obviously it is.
Obviously, we're early into it.
It's like the moon phase, isn't it? Like some things happen when it's a full moon outside. And that full moon seems to be April for you guys. But it's explained by the fact that Pep has cracked your code in March and there hasn't been enough time for him to be on the training ground to figure out something else in the meantime because there's been international break, personnel's unavailable, and you got Champions League games and your opponents don't. So like, I kind of get it, but 100% is a moon phase right now and it seems to be a full moon for April. For
like, I get what you're saying in terms of like April. That's when I apply the context and I said that's the context of the players breaking down.
Yeah.
But then it's like context is irrelevant because you had the depth, you just didn't utilize it. So I think at this point, if he gets his criticism, he sort of deserves it because you know you know better, so you should do better.
And I felt like he should have known better from prior, which is why I've always hinged Arsenal's success or lack of on the gaffer. That's just where I've been.
But at the same time, I said all of that, but you still have to apply the fact that throughout the whole season, Arsenal players have been dropping down like flies, and he's been adapting to the extent where I read something today that said, of all the teams, I think Arsenal are probably the most. Obviously, we know the most injured set of players in March, but throughout the whole season, Arsenal are amongst the teams that have like had the most injured players.
Yeah,
but it's only them that's managed it best.
But
at some point,
at what point though do you have to like?
I was just going to
allow it, bro.
I was going to say to you though, Joey, like, so at what point do you? Because I know you're somebody that normally pushes back on injuries a lot. When you hear a stat like that, or when you hear like a take like that, what does that do for you? Because in actual fact, when you're looking at a Bournemouth game, Arsenal didn't have Odegaard available. He's their club captain. Didn't have Saka. he's the main talisman for them. Didn't have Marino's not available there. You get what I mean? Hincapié's just coming back. You know, so there's actually a bit of an injury crisis and has been at Arsenal, but because there's been a lot made of squad depth, and not a lot have been made of actually the injuries that Arsenal are contending with as well. Could that be the context and nuance that Della Strada's referring to?
No.
You're not buying
No, because you didn't have a big squad and then you have injuries. You increase the size of the squad and then the size of the amount of injuries increases. What's the common denominator, bruv?
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like injuries are sort of part and parcel. I think, let's say the likes of Calafuri, he's injured.
Yeah.
Odegaard, unfortunately, but I think he's injured so many different parts of his body this season. Saka's one that is unfortunate because of his thing. Gabriel went injured because he plays for Brazil. Saliba's carrying an ankle injury, so sometimes it's unfortunate in that sense.
No,
and you're constantly having to adapt and like.
I agree. I'm not stupid enough to say that injuries don't mean anything. My issue is that all teams get injured. And then if for 3 to 4 seasons you've been going for the Premier League and injuries are what usurps you in every situation, then you need to make a concerted effort to make sure that your team isn't getting injured. And one of the ways of doing that is by recycling your squad, using the depth, because you went and you invested in the depth. But if you're not investing in the depth and you're saying, well, I can't trust a Prem proven player because I can't trust 2 of them because they're not, they want to play too much football, bro. They play too much football.
But one final thing
I can't allow you when also Bournemouth have had a injury crisis and all the other teams have had, because it just happens in football.
I think they said Arsenal have had like one of the most, but that's irrelevant. But one thing I would say is, like, let's say for example, it said Eze and Odegaard have only played 10 minutes together on the same pitch.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's like...
Bro, it's like Isak and
is that because of injuries or because Gakpo doesn't want to play that?
No.
Isak and Ekitike have only played like 7 minutes together, bro.
The first, I think they tried in the game and Odegaard got injured after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then since then he hasn't.
Yeah,
and then now he's back and Eze was injured and now he's injured again. So
yeah.
Oh, sorry, just a quick one. Bud sent this in this morning saying of the top 6 teams in the Premier League, they have had more matches this season with an open play expected goals of 0.3 or lower.
Who?
Arsenal. 0.3 or lower than Man City, Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea combined. This happened 6 times apparently.
Only 6 times?
Yeah, 6 times. So.
Yeah, but in that context, if it's a 6 times, I think it's okay.
But because so the only reason I brought that up because I know like me and Buds, for example, have been critics of Arteta and playing quite pragmatic. I
don't think that's anything new, to be fair. Because if you recall, like
the pragmatism.
Yeah, I think even at the end of last season, I don't know if you guys will remember, but I raised it. Like we scored, like, because remember when I was like, especially when I was going back and forth with Della, like when I thought I need to have a striker, and a lot of the rebuttal would be like, we scored 90 plus goals, 89 or so goals, and then I would say, well, actually about 35 or 40% of them has been set pieces. This amount has been penalties. This amount has been open play goals. So everything that we're kind of witnessing. Like, I kind of like mentioned this before, and I don't think it's new to like obviously Arsenal fans that watch the game. Obviously, we realise that Arteta's trying to find a way to win by any means necessary, and like you use the word pragmatism, or however I'm saying it. But yeah, I think that comes into play. Like he's trying to be so like pragmatic, the robustness in the way that we play or what have you not. He's sacrificing style and flair and what have you not. So when you see stats like that, all it does is just speaks towards that.
Yeah, because that's what I've been saying
but you can't say that we can't do open play goals, because we've seen where we've seen that we can do it in like the Champions League and
you can
competitions, and even the Premier at times.
But that's why I think there's like a mental block here, because outside of it, Madueke is banging goals, Martinelli's banging goals. I don't know about Gyökeres. I think he's probably banging goals as well. But then when it comes to the Premier League, there just seems to be this pragmatism and like where Martinelli and Madueke have to focus on defending. Yeah.
Well, look,
that shouldn't really be the case. Maybe one of them should focus on the defending at whatever time. But I feel like their focus is that. when Arsenal lose the ball, the focus is getting back behind the ball. Nobody's allowed to cheat.
Yeah.
And I think...
But you know what, ironically, if Madueke didn't cheat against Bournemouth, they would have scored their first goal.
Yeah. Of course, it's not always going to be the case. But again, it just seems like there's a... I feel like 65% or 60% is not enough.
Well, you think there's more on
Yeah, I think there's 100% more, man. I think there is more.
Like there's the players need to take some accountability, and that's what I said. That I'm saying Arteta's more at fault, but I think I said most times we can't say manager.
Yeah,
you players are good enough, and it's like it's the home straight. I don't care how my manager platforms me. There's no excuse for you not to run more than another team. There's no way.
As a Liverpool fan, I know that for a fact because we've been one of the worst runners this season.
But that's what I'm saying. But
there's sometimes it just happens, and there's a reason why it happens. But and I think it's the manager.
See, on this one, I can't say you've got 8 games left to win a title.
Yeah,
Madueke, you can't switch off. You know what I'm saying? There was duels that Arsenal weren't winning their duels. It's like you can't be losing your duels, and that's not the manager's fault. I don't care. I may have platformed you wrong, but
what if you could argue?
Yeah, I think it can be.
And the only reason why I say what if you could argue it is in the sense of if I'm like managing you, Della, and we're playing football, and I'm asking you to play a style that's like unbeknown to you, like is like when I say unbeknown to you, obviously footballers can play in whatever style, but it's not your natural style, and it's not a style that you kind of agree with, but we're winning with it. Yeah. So every time we go back to the dressing room, and whatnot, you're like, oh man, that stunk, but you know what, we're winning, and we're happy. So we go to the bar after the game, and we have a drink or what have you, and we're happy every game we're winning, and then we go through a little bit of a lull where we're not winning so much. The first thing that's probably going to happen is like, I didn't like this style anyway. We've been found out. And then your concentration now is your concentration's affected because you're playing a style that you don't want to play, and now you've been questioning it in your mind, and now you've got results to back you up that because you've now got we've been found out. So do you get what I mean? So now,
give me an example.
I think Liverpool's a prime example.
So the mistakes that you're making now are probably mistakes that you wouldn't have made when it was happening, but because now that your head's down, it's a mentality. It's everything. It's mentality. Your head's down, and now you're not playing that style that you don't want to play. You're doing it for the manager, but you're not doing it the same way because you have that doubt that this isn't a style that I even want to play.
But give me an example of a player that you feel like doesn't align to or doesn't agree with the style.
So for instance, if you say
Madueke, bro, if you're playing for Tuchel and you're playing for England, you have to run back.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, with Madueke, Madueke is a guy that I don't blame at all. I never blame Madueke because I knew what I was getting with this guy. So that's why when I was, like spazzing out, like I don't know why we're getting this guy. When guys are talking about Madueke, I just gave you an example. I know you.
But what I'm saying, but generally speaking, you may not like the style or whatever, but see it out. So that's why it comes down to the mentality of individuals. It's like, okay, you've done it, whether you like it or not, you've done it for 40 games. There's only 8 more games left. See it out.
Sam, but
sometimes you got to switch it up. Like even Pep, like Shirky, I felt like he was systemizing him.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, he's become this maverick that can do kick-ups against my fucking club. Like, when in my mind, that's not a Pep Guardiola player. Yeah. But it looks like at some point, Pep's gone like, you know what? I need to kind of...
What I'm doing isn't working.
I need to let this guy do his thing. And I don't know that we get that with our club.
Who apart from Eze, who can you give that to?
Not necessarily.
Martinelli?
No, not to say that you have players that can do that, but I don't think there's space. I've always said this. There's not space for Mavericks to thrive at Arsenal, and there wasn't at Man City. I think Liverpool, if you're a kind of Maverick player, that's a place you go to. Man United, I guess Bruno Fernandes and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I watch Arsenal and I feel like players are second guessing their natural instinct.
Madueke does the same thing.
No, that ice skater, bro.
But I feel like there's not...
But Eze especially, because that guy, he's a flary guy. He has technical ability and he can hit a ball from pretty much anywhere on the pitch and hit target very well. But when he's on the ball, bro, I see a player that's second guessing themselves. And even Saka, I remember that there was one time when Man United Arsenal played Man United and Saka cut in, beat Luke Shaw, banged it bomb corner. You probably remember this goal because he was beefing MJ that day, bro. But if you look over the last few seasons, Saka has started doing that less and less and less from that first season, innit?
What I'll say, so let's say the Eze one. I think the Eze one's different because
he's new to the team.
He's new to the team, playing a different position. Yes, I understand it. So you're not playing this. You've now moved to a club that's in line with, or you moved from a small fish to a big pond. Where that saying goes. So you need time to adapt. And you can see that he's now finally understood it, because if he wasn't allowed to do what he wanted to do, he wouldn't have scored the goal that he scored against Leverkusen. You see the way sometimes where he comes on, he's now playing with freedom. Even when he came on against Bournemouth, he was the only one that's literally saying, "Give me the ball." He feels comfortable now. Yeah. And then with the Saka one, I feel like Saka's biggest thing before was his football and IQ, decision making.
Yeah.
And I feel like now everyone's talking about Gine. He's making the wrong decision making, and that's not down to Arteta. That's just down to him.
No, but instead of you gotten into his head like that?
No, I feel, because if he like when I first saw Saka, I was like, he's not like God's gift, but you can see that his decision making is ace.
Yeah.
And now I feel like because he's now the star boy, GNA, he's the main guy.
The pressure that comes with that contract.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, so even before you got the contract, obviously the contract was only like maybe a couple of weeks ago to a month. But you see over the course, fair enough, he's still doing his thing. But in terms of like, I still feel like sometimes his decision making is gone downhill.
Yeah,
and that's not I'm gonna say because Arteta's taking the credit.
Wait, but
he's shooting more.
But Arteta's team and his style of play has changed drastically from the first title challenge.
It has, but in terms of what you're saying, in terms of the Mavericks, like Saka's shooting more now. You know what I'm saying? He's not shooting less. He's shooting more now. So
I don't know the stats on it, but in terms of like. Maybe we can do like BC and before Christ, after Christ, whatever. But that injury against
played a part.
Is the BC and AD.
Let's move on from Arsenal. But before we do, obviously we can't without addressing the
Zubigate. That's what they're calling him on Twitter, bro. Zubigate.
We've spoken on
Zubigate.
We've spoken on Arsenal too long to do Twitter narratives.
I got a couple more, bro.
But, obviously, you got Manchester City versus Arsenal, crazy, massive game. Now, can
I watch that with you, bro?
No. In the past, I think you haven't been able to win the Premier League without taking points off your nearest rivals at their ground in the part. Like when Arsenal won the Premier League at Old Trafford, it was the Silva and Wiltord's goal. I think even Leicester had to. They didn't beat Arsenal, but I feel like they had to beat like big teams away from home. I think Liverpool. When you won the title, I'm sure you've got a result at the Etihad or
result. Or we
battered.
Draws or win.
Yeah, does taking points include draws?
We
did better Man City last season, but they weren't our closest. You lot were our closest rival.
Yeah, but
we drew with you last season twice.
So I'm just saying that I feel like it's set up. I feel like the game is set up perfectly, because if Arsenal want to win the Premier League, it was said probably from the beginning of the season, you need to get a result at Etihad. Yes, a draw, to answer your question, Della, is suitable. But really and truly, if you want to make that statement, you've got an opportunity now. In my opinion, like Odegaard, rewrite what's being said about you. If Saka, if you're available, rewrite what's being said about you. Mikel Arteta, rewrite what's being said about you. You've got an opportunity here. Pep Guardiola has showed the world how to beat Arsenal Football Club. Let's show the world that he got it wrong. So there's an opportunity there. But then now on City, on the other hand, City have been galvanised by a man that you said wouldn't improve them, Mark Gahey. You said Mark Gahey wouldn't improve Manchester City.
Mark Gahey.
Yeah. Well, so they've been galvanised by that. Semenyo. So City have like they've risen. They're showing that they're adaptable. They're showing that they're not out of this race. They've picked up a domestic cup. They're in line to maybe pick up an FA Cup now, because you have to make them the favourites now. Yeah. City now versus Arsenal is a gigantic fixture. Are we on the cusp of seeing I think you might, not the biggest, but one of the best bottle jobs that you've seen in recent years? Are we on the cusp of seeing the changing of the guard this Sunday?
So I think the stat is at this stage of season, a 9-point gap has never been overturned. Obviously, it's not. No, but it's 9 points.
Yeah, but it's with a game in hand. Like,
No, but it doesn't matter whether there's a game in hand or not. But the factually is 9 points at this stage of the season because they haven't won that game in it. We can only go by what we know as a fact in it.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say, obviously, we can hype this game up to be the big spectacle, and as a neutral, that's beautiful for me. But I don't think Arsenal need to make a statement.
Right.
You don't need to make a statement. You just need to go there, see it through, leave with a point.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. That in itself is a statement.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to make a big statement. You don't need to announce anything. You've been top of the table all season.
Wow.
Just carry on that business.
Della?
Yeah, I agree with the same. It's not about making a statement. It's just go out there and play your game. And just you're in a good position because City have to win. Arsenal, it'll be good if you win, but just don't lose.
Wait, sorry. Don't play your game. don't play your game. Play a different game.
No. What I mean, because it just feels like they've been playing an occasion every single it's an occasion. It's occasion. Go out there. It's just game by game. That's what the managers say. Everyone says game by game. So take it game by game.
Yeah. Look.
What about you? Yeah, what about you though?
Obviously, I think we're gonna lose.
No, but do you feel like you need to make a statement?
No, I would like us to. But I don't think we're going. I don't think we need.
But even exactly. I'm saying even if you come in as a fan, and most Arsenal fans saying they're going to lose. So it's not about making a statement. It's just don't lose.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
If we don't lose, it's a happy day for me, mate.
Yeah.
If we don't lose, I'm thinking we could potentially. You know what's just it's scary for me as an Arsenal fan, yeah. And I don't know if I'm riddled with PTSD, but what I look at is, okay, now we've got to face these annoying Newcastle, your other club face. Yeah. Now, for some reason, we can beat Newcastle if it's just 10 games in. when there's nothing on the line, Newcastle's an easy day's work for us. But when there's something on the line, Newcastle seem to bend us over. Pause. Like the Carabao Cup semis dealt with us twice. When we needed to beat them, one of the other seasons running, Newcastle played a part in our demise. I think it was the 23-24. I don't think it was in the running, but Newcastle's been there. Like anytime we need points, Newcastle are just annoying. So that's a fixture that I can't necessarily just overlook. Although that's not the one that I'm the most scared of. You know the one I'm the most scared of after the City game, if we don't lose, the Hammers game.
I think you can't think that far.
Yeah,
can't think that far.
I'm just telling you, like, because I'm looked at all of the fixtures.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking
the Hammers game
for me. So I'm telling the 3 fixtures that I was wary of. Bournemouth, we've already lost it.
Yeah.
City, I think we might lose it. I hope we don't. And the Hammers game.
You saying Mavropanos diving header?
Nah, it's just I've seen what West Ham done to Wolves when the pressure was on against them, and that's all I don't
know if there was pressure on Wolves though. You know.
No, there was pressure on West Ham.
So I don't know if there was pressure on West Ham.
Because you've got to set a precedent, and you've got to make it. You've got to set the stage for Tottenham to bottle it, and that's what Tottenham did.
No, but do you know why there wasn't pressure? Because this isn't their first relegation fight or game.
But that doesn't mean there's no pressure. This isn't our first title race.
No, but my point is that them winning that game, they're gonna win a game. They're gonna win a game in this relegation battle. Spurs, you'd think, are gonna win a game, but I don't know. So I don't think there was pressure on them to go out and win that game. They were just playing a really bad Wolves, and they went and they dealt with Wolves. But I don't think it's like they've risen to an occasion per se, like the game you have against Man City. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's like.
I hear your point, but I would disagree. I think they would. I would say they risen to an occasion, to the occasion, and the results this weekend even like speak towards it. Like even Leeds, like with a shock win against Manchester United. At Old Trafford, like, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't seen Manchester United play since Ramadan, bruv. We ain't seen Manchester United play since people were freaking giving up something for Lent. You guys have come back. And you guys have lost.
No, but that makes sense as well, though, because your sharpness is just gone, bruv.
So everything makes sense when it's other teams.
No.
Let me even just a quick segue.
Couple rim shots on that guard.
Everything makes sense.
Yeah.
When it's United, when it's West Ham, or because Wolves, everything makes sense. But then when Della, for instance, is given context and nuance, nothing can make sense. Forget what I think. Forget what I think. But I'm talking about you now.
Yeah, because I don't accept. You know, you even said it before. Della said it. I don't accept injuries as an excuse.
Yeah,
because everybody's got bills, bruv. We all got bills to pay. But with the football thing, I've heard managers say you need games for the players to be sharp. I heard managers say, but I've heard managers say that also, I really want to break so my players are sharp in it. So either way, it can make sense. If you haven't played since Ramadan, bruv.
They've seen a lot of football pass them by. And Manchester United
when was the last time Leeds played? Were they in the FA
probably
Cup?
the same time. No.
Were they in the FA Cup, Leeds?
No, they weren't. So you're probably right. Yeah. You're right.
These are in the FA
Oh,
Cup.
okay.
Yeah, they are because they're playing
okay.
Chelsea. Yeah. Okay, so they played it.
So they're a little bit more sharp. But it's just funny, like obviously just carrying on that just vein of thought.
Yeah.
They're like Tottenham's in the doldrums. Liverpool, you guys are the
We're doldrumish.
You've got the Premier League trophy right
Don't ever
beside
forget
you.
it, bro.
Yeah?
Don't ever forget.
You are the Premier League champions, and Chelsea have spent nearly 2 billion to be wherever they are at the moment. They get pumped by City, an amazing performance by Manchester City, but actually it looked like a spirited performance by Chelsea in the first half, but they've been pumped. Manchester United are celebrating Manchester City wins, Arsenal losses, all sorts, just to get pumped by Leeds. Tottenham are in the relegation zone. Like, are you guys hearing this?
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest stories is Arsenal.
But you know, last time I was here,
It's the biggest story, bro.
But is that fair?
It's very fair. Do you know what? Let me say
in the context of Spurs, you were like...
I go, wait, let me give you additional context that you're missing. Man United, yeah. What position did they finish last season? 16th.
Yeah.
Right now, they're third.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done a exceptional growth. Yeah, obviously we knew that they shouldn't have finished.
They should never have finished there, and you should never be losing to this.
Regardless, the fact is, it's an exceptional growth.
It's not. It's some
like
sort of
for
correction.
like last year.
It's some sort of correction.
We're hitting all our targets.
Nah,
bro.
it's not exceptional.
But Spurs, it makes sense that they're in a relegation zone if they finished 17th last season.
Bro, you sacked Ange. Yeah,
and you sacked your manager as well.
You sacked Ange,
so you have no consistency.
And then now you're...
Man United sacked their manager as well.
I'm sorry.
It's like a manager merry-go-round at the moment.
If it wasn't Spurs that was attached to this team in that current position, yeah, everybody was saying, well, all the things that they've done make sense, apart from winning the Europa League, which is crazy. But currently, where they are in the position in the table, battling relegation, looking like they're favourites for relegation, it makes sense if you finish 17th last season.
But the thing is, it's like if it was Man United where Tottenham are right now, it's a shock.
It's a huge story.
But Spurs being there is still a shock because Spurs are like the big six.
Yeah.
The big six are about to get some of them. The big six is about to get relegated potentially. That's a big story.
No, it's huge, man. But Arsenal doing something. A big six team has been relegated before.
Which one? Not Newcastle.
Because obviously we're what? We're 1990s Premier League babies, innit? People that was watching Division 1 back then, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, they've won the league. They've all been relegated. They were big six before. So it's not unprecedented. Coming second 4 times in a row. That's you lot might be thinking I'm a hater, I'm crazy. Coming second 4 times in a row is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, bruv. I don't know if that's mathematically possible.
Crazy might be
That's not 3 times.
3 times, and then we won it.
And fourth is...
And then we won it the 4th time. I think we came second 3 times, and then we won it the next time.
Yeah, so this 4th time coming second is a record.
But
it's a record broken, isn't it?
Let me tell you something, Joey. I get you as a fan.
You know that's my favourite word, unprecedented.
Yeah, I get you as a fan, but you know, actually coming second 4 times in a row, we're making more bread than any you lot that have been winning the league cups, the FA Cups, what have you. I'm just saying, on a business...
do you have more bread in your pocket? Because I'm still broke, bro.
I don't.
So that doesn't mean anything.
That's why I prefaced it. To say, as a fan, I get where you're coming from.
Okay.
Because I don't care about their money.
Oh, but in terms of the board.
Yeah, they're happy. And obviously, I'm not, you know what, I care in the sense that, bro, like, me and Della went live after we signed Eze. You know what I mean?
I wanted to bring that up, but I thought, no, let me hold that to the end of the season.
we were happy, bro. We were happy. I wouldn't get that happiness if we weren't finishing second after second, because we get money for it. So as much as fans banter it, it's actually more successful finishing second than
100%.
Winning these cups that you lot are talking about. But
It's more lucrative, 100%.
More lucrative.
But it's not more successful in terms of silver. Because silverware is what you play football for.
Exactly. I get that. But it depends which way you want to look at it.
But nobody would really want to look at it the way you're talking about unless you're actually cashing in on
no one
that
would want to look at it. But in terms of a defense, I'm just like, when you're telling me that it's unprecedented and I should be ashamed of it, I'm like, brother, like, I would 100% finish second 4 times in a row rather than be.
You're not going to the same club.
Would you rather finish finish second 4 times in a row or be relegated this season?
After winning the Europa.
Oh,
come on, why?
No, 100%. No, 100%. I'd rather be where you guys are.
So then it's not a bigger story then.
No, it is a bigger story.
No, but based on that logic, it's not.
No, but you asked me what would I rather be.
Yeah, you'd rather be Arsenal.
I'd rather never get relegated, ever.
So Spurs is the biggest story.
It's not a bigger story.
It is.
No, because teams get relegated all the time, and 17 teams don't get relegated, though.
Not a top 6 team.
Nottingham Forest.
But when it's not since we've been watching football.
That's what I'm saying. You're moving the goalpost.
That's not.
My only point is unprecedented. That's my only point. It's never happened before. That's the only thing that I'm saying. It's never ever happened before. But one thing I want to say, Strivs, if you go to a club, and your aim is to leave with something, and you go to that same club 4 times, and you don't leave with something, you're not going back to that club, bruv. You're not going back to that club. This isn't my clientele.
So with me or them.
Hey, facts. If you call me up on that Friday night, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're going back. I'd be like, yeah, you know what?
You're saying they don't like black guys.
Facts. As I said, as I find it, I hear where you're coming from, but I just find it funny that all these clubs are going through what they're going through, and it's just.
Bro, we're going through hell, bro. But there's one thing that allows us to sleep at night.
But last time I was here, Strada, I did say what Arsenal fans need to do is just don't engage.
Ignore.
And that's the reason it's more of a bigger story because Arsenal fans engage.
Yeah.
If Arsenal fans don't engage, then
what you're saying is easier said than done, bro. Because
it's not. I think most fans should be like Jonathan.
No, Jonathan, bro. I got to Jonathan on holiday, bro.
But it's rare. It's rare.
Do you know? Hold tight, John. He said, "Don't let that episode." He said, "Don't let that episode go out tomorrow, bro." But my point,
the point I'm trying to make is that you need to chase him. You need to hound him to catch him out.
Yeah, 100%.
On a normal day,
it is because there's a despair. There's a despair for silverware. Because there's a despair, that's why it's easy to kind of get in through those defenses when like B-Man is like, yeah, we're top of the table. Why are you fighting me then, bro? Do you know what I mean? Because they know that at the back of it, there's this need that where we have to prove everybody wrong. We have to prove it for ourselves.
But you know what I find crazy as well, Like, the mere fact some Chelsea fans will say, I want to lose because I don't want Arsenal to win. Liverpool fan, you'll say
go on.
United will say it because, and you're like, but that's your rival. And people say, it's not that I don't like Arsenal. I think I like Arsenal as a club. I just don't like their fans. Yeah. But then I say to myself, I'll give you an example. United fans are talking smack, right?
Yes.
And United fans have probably had one of the most terrible seasons ever.
Yeah.
But now they're playing 1 game a month. They're talking smack. So imagine if they got to where they were before, they'll still be talking smack. That's what fans do.
Yeah.
So when people say it's like, I just don't, it's the fans, I just don't get it. But then you say, okay, you don't like the fans for Arsenal. Do you like the club of Man City who's got to say they're cheats and they're under 115 charges? But everyone will be like, I want Man City to win. But then you're going to complain next week, say they should get relegated. Or they should. Then why do you want them to win the league?
Because they just hate us. No. They hate us the more.
It's illogical.
It's better.
Because you said you can. You said you can explain it.
Expert here, bro. I'm the expert analyst on this. It's better the devil, innit? Like, so, listen and listen well, please.
Listen, Linda. Go on.
Basically, Chelsea have won silverware in recent times. Man City won silverware. Tottenham, Arsenal, biggest rivals or whatever, even though I don't really count it. I think Man United versus Arsenal is a bigger rivalry than Tottenham and thingy. I think Liverpool, Man United is a bigger rivalry than all these other ones. But when it comes to the just the logics of the game in terms of like how successful her team has been, what they've done, a lot of the talk that you get from Arsenal fans isn't matching of their pay grade. they're talking way over their pay grade, innit? So a lot of people have problems with that. That's why when they talk about, they do their surveys or who's the most hated fans, Arsenal top the list. And then when it comes to people making content, it's always going to be Arsenal focused because you're going to get engagement. Saka having a good season, automatically Saka's the best right winger in the league. No, obviously that's not the case, but Arsenal fans will fight you on that.
But likewise, Chelsea fans will fight you for Cole Palmer. And Man City fans will fight you for Foden. I'm just going to say...
Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea fans... I've never heard a comparison of Cole Palmer to Salah. Mo Salah. Never ever heard that.
When have you heard Saka and Salah? With me?
No, not with you. Not with you. I don't think you're that crazy. Not even with you. And you're my most hated one. But it's rampant. It's rampant, bro. It's very, very rampant. As soon as an Arsenal... Bro, even Max Dowman, bro. Max Dowman is the second coming of Christ, bro.
By who? Who's saying that?
By media. Arsenal fans.
No, but exactly, it's a media, bro.
No. But I said Arsenal fans as well. Media and
Arsenal fans just rate Dowman the same way you rate
the same way Jeezy will rate Mano. You know what I'm saying? Every single fan is extreme in that sense.
When media, it's media as well. So like I say media because when Max Dowman played preseason friendlies, people were going crazy over Max Dowman. But Rio Ngumoha is doing stuff. You ain't heard what people are saying. I think is the future of England. Max Dowman's the future of England. But you ain't done what Rio Ngumoha has done this season. But you're not even hearing Rio Ngumoha as a potential future for Nigeria, bro.
So tell me, what has Rio Ngumoha done this season then,
bro?
And use this opportunity as well to bring in Liverpool as well because
I don't think he's landed by the way, bro.
Yeah, he's grabbed X amount of points for actual points and goals and and assists as well. He's bagged this season, innit? Like, and we're talking about young players here.
So because I know he banged obviously against Fulham
and Newcastle.
It was a dope goal. Oh yeah, he won
Newcastle.
That.
Got the assist. I think he got the assist for. I think he completes loads of crosses, gets the ball. He played on the right, so he's an influential player as a young player.
So would you stand by he hasn't done what? I'm only challenging you on what Dowman on the Dowman.
What has Dowman done?
Because Dowman came on, changed the game against Everton.
He changes the game every time he comes on the pitch, bro.
But I mean, the Everton game, he actually was quite decisive in terms of the outcome of that game. And
I agree.
And that was a title race game.
It wasn't a title race game, bro.
It was a title race game.
Why was it a title race game?
Because that game put us 9 points ahead, which you've just quoted.
You
just used the whole 9 points ahead thing to put Arsenal down.
But if Max Dowman banged in January and gave you 3 points more, we're coming towards the business end of the season. Yeah, but it's not a title race. It's not a title race game.
It's a title.
No. That
was the last game that they played before the international break.
That was a lot.
Yeah,
when they won.
No, I hear that. But what makes that a title race game, or what doesn't make it a title race game? What are the qualifiers for that?
Because we just said it where you're on the home stretch now, so every single game matters, isn't it?
Why are you on the home stretch now? Why were you on the home stretch before that game?
Because everyone tends to say.
There's 8 games left, isn't it?
Yes, it's a home stretch.
So when did that start then?
Don't people say the Prem or the title race starts like in March or April?
Okay, you know that's fair.
According to Gary Neville, but
okay, that's fair. Liverpool aren't in the title race, so I guess technically you can't do that. But could he have done it in the title race? Why not?
Yeah, but we don't know that though.
Yeah.
So that's
but he banged last season, and when we won the title, and he played well for the Premier League. So, but I do think he's getting a lot more hype than his merited. Other than that, because he was getting the hype before the Everton game as well.
Yeah, I guess
but yeah.
So talk to me about Rio then, because obviously, I mean, the talks outside of the Liverpool fan base is, in fact, and even in the Liverpool fan base, Gakpo, you guys want. I know you don't, but you guys want rid of Gakpo kind of thing. Yeah, you want to see more of Rio on the left anyway. And if you don't want rid of Gakpo, at least you don't want Gakpo on the left.
I don't. So I don't think I haven't specifically heard anybody saying get rid of Gakpo. I just don't think they want him to be starting because I think when we've seen the best of Gakpo, he's not been our leading left winger.
Yeah.
Obviously Luis Diaz was before that, and whatever. So I think people will just they're tired of. I think he has the lowest conversion rate in the Premier League.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like 8.7% in terms of shots to goal ratio.
But he takes a lot of shots though.
He hits a lot of shins.
Okay.
He hits a lot of shins in it. So I don't even know if does that count as a shot?
I don't know. It must do if his conversion is that low. Because
Yeah.
I would count Gakpo as one of your like guys that gets you out of jail.
He was at the start of the season. He scored a decent amount of goals.
Yeah.
And he's got a decent amount of G&A.
Yeah.
But again, when you're watching the game, he's not beating his man. He's not using the overlap. Rio obviously draws in a lot of players, and that's always going to be beneficial to the other attackers on the pitch. So, man, his ability on the pitch is very promising for the club. And if you're looking at in a season that's been as bad as this one has been, you're looking at all the positives, and he's one of the positives that you can build around.
Yeah.
According to,
would you start him against PSG when?
So I think players like him who can turn games around or who can draw in a lot of attention in terms of defenders, I don't know necessarily if it's the best thing to play them for the full 90 minutes.
Okay.
I think I'm torn between him starting the second half and him playing full 90 minutes. But I'd be happy with either just based on his form. But what I don't want is him to kind of start the game and then players suss him, because Hakimi is a good right back.
Yeah.
So he can suss him quite early.
Yeah, you seen what they've done to MLS.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if it's the same thing, because MLS doesn't beat a man, innit? But
MLS,
I think he does.
drops the straight and drives. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe on the turn. I think on the turn. Whereas thing is, he stands his players up, innit? But I think you might be better off having Gakpo trying to tire him out and then
bring him on. Yeah.
Rio coming on, man.
Yeah.
But I don't
Salah
like
as well, because Salah, you didn't play him in the last game, innit?
Yeah, he didn't play against PSG,
and then Salah had a pretty good.
He had a great performance, man. Really enjoyed it. But I didn't have an issue with Salah not starting that game. I don't think he deserved to start that game. I think he was horrible in the Man City game.
Do you think he deserves to start now?
Do I think he deserves to start? I feel like pretty much the same as Rio. Like, if he starts or doesn't start, I wouldn't mind. But I want to see them both getting a suitable amount of minutes.
Okay.
We're pretty much 1 foot out of this tournament. You haven't really got anything to lose. So just put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Arne Slot, that would be my advice to him. Like, however he does that, I can't really say. But all I know is I don't mind getting knocked out of it as long as we have a good representation of ourselves. That's something that we failed to do all season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we're on the big stages. Everybody's watching. Don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah. And obviously, is there anything else that you want to touch on?
Yeah.
On at least Fulham or even just Liverpool before we wrap up? Because
I think I still don't think that was a good performance though.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think it was a good performance. I think Fulham were able to attack at will. They had decent chances, and if they had better players, then they would have put us to bed. So those same problems are there. It's just that kind of like at the start of the season, we're able to see this one out, man. Still not happy with a lot of players. Weren't happy with
the second half, or that because your first half, I thought you were cooking, to be honest. You look vibrant.
Yeah, I think some players were generally the team was decent, but it's individuals.
Yeah.
Like I'm not happy with McAllister, even though he played better than usual. I'm not happy with McAllister. I'm not happy with Gravenberch when he came on for Curtis Jones.
I was Isak when he got on.
Yeah, Isak was doing doggies, man, but people were blaming Gakpo because there were situations. I don't know if there was one pass that Salah played out and cut out 3 players. Ball was to Gakpo. Isak was breaking his neck to be onside. Made a great run into the middle, but Gakpo wanted to take it onto his right foot and then shot into someone's shins again.
Yeah.
So Isak, this season's a write-off for Isak. Full focus on next season, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's the season I'll judge him on, obviously, innit? But sorry, something I've wanted to say throughout this whole episode is you're quite harsh on Isak in terms of him coming from a Premier League team, being a high scorer or whatever, and saying that he should gel in Liverpool. But the Eze example shows that that's not the case. Like, going from team to team, can be as much of an issue as going from league to league.
Yeah, I agree on that one. The only slight difference with, and I do agree because I've always said that's because someone just goes to the same team in the Premier League, they still have to adapt to the playing style of the new club. Slight difference with the Eze and Isak one is that Isak is playing in his normal position, whereas Eze wasn't. So there was a period of adaptation. But I still get your point, but I just feel they're slightly different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just also just going from a smaller environment to, like you said, big fish, small pond, whatever, and going to a club where I'm not the guy here. Like Eze was the guy here. Everything goes through. It's like anybody who wants to come in here has to come through me. Yeah. That was anybody who gets the ball has to cross that ball to me. For Isak, that's not the case anymore. How's this team going to learn to adapt to that? Kind of like Arsenal as well, where you got Gyökeres and he's should be the focal point, but if he's not the focal point, then he shouldn't be there, innit?
Yeah. Okay.
So now how do we do that with Isak? Because Salah was that guy. Get the ball to Salah. Salah's leaving now.
Yeah. So I suppose that's a new conundrum that I suppose Arne Slot are...
I think it's a better situation for Isak.
Yeah.
You have Ekitike.
Huh?
Then you have the Ekitike situation because they both want to play for the centre,
I think Ekitike is a decent striker, but he's not a goal monster. And I think he knows he's not a goal monster. He wants to play physically attractive football, innit?
Yeah, and I think
he's better off doing that from the left.
Yeah, I think I've started to see like Liverpool fans
turn against him.
Yeah. I wouldn't say turn against him.
Nah, they're turning, bro. They're turning.
Yeah, they're starting to acknowledge that he's not maybe a striker. So.
Yeah. No, I've always...
You said that.
I thought I always compared him more to a Firmino type player because he likes to do the flicks and the link-ups and the 1-2s in it, man. So that's why him and Wirtz love playing with each other.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, man, I think obviously it was, and understandably so, you guys had a lot to say about Arsenal and how we might finish the season. Let's get onto the back pages. That's where we shine give flowers to anybody, either in the football world, sport world, any world, to be fair. Let's get onto the back pages before we sign off the show. Does anyone have one in mind?
Yeah. So my special mention is Mary Louise Etta, who's the new manager of Union Berlin. So she's the first woman to be a manager of the men's football team. So there's not really... I want to see how you're doing it because I think if you're good enough, then you're man enough.
Do you think that's a diversity and inclusion hire, or do you think that's one merit?
Well, we'll only be able to see by how well she does or doesn't do.
Do you know anything about her before?
Don't know anything about her. I know it's probably good for marketing. And there are probably a couple government grants that come with that as well.
What league are they in?
They're in the Bundesliga.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Bundesliga.
No, but it was big news though.
Yeah. But my back pages goes to La Liga. I don't know if anyone saw, but they did retro weekend.
No.
Yeah, so like some of the clubs had vintage kits and everything, and then obviously Hector Bellerin was the face of it because he's got that mustache and that hairstyle.
I see.
But it looked cold, and they had like the old graphics as well.
Yeah.
So it had like, you know, when it has like they'll show the league table using the graphics from like 1990. It was cold, man. Maybe Premier League can pick that up.
Yeah. Della, have you got one?
I'll give my back pages to Creepy. I don't know I think he's got 11 goals, but I think he's just behind. I can't remember who's got the who's got the record in terms of like the if they did find it was a teenager or under 20, whether they are. So based on
10 goals.
10 goals. Did you know who's got the record? I don't know if it's Rooney or Robbie Keane. But
the teenager record. Yeah, I think it's Rooney.
Is it Rooney?
I think it is.
Is it?
No.
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane, sorry.
Yeah. So credit to him. You know, like with Bournemouth, they just seem to just be good in terms of how they recruit these players. But he just looks clean.
Yeah, and Ryan as well.
Yeah, but he was quiet at the weekend though.
You know what? He did create a couple of chances. Got the ball into the box. I think it was quite early, and then I think Creepy shot into Gabriel's head. Okay, that was a good chance creation, to be fair.
But Creepy is he's like a mixture of Jermaine Defoe. He's but he's got more to him.
I like him, man.
Player.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to give my back pages to a former Arsenal player, Jack Wilshere.
Oh, yeah.
Hold tight.
Yeah, he won the EFL trophy. They call it the Virtu Trophy. He won that with Luton.
His home club.
Yeah, is that his own club? Yeah,
that's where he started off.
That's where he started off.
Didn't know that.
No, I didn't even know that. Still. Yeah, I didn't even know that, man. I need to up my trivia still.
You thought he was born and bred in?
I was like, man, this guy's is Arsenal through and through for me. I thought he supported West Ham or something. That's about as much as I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, big him up, man. 6 months into taking over the job at Kenilworth Road. Big 3-1 victory over, was it Stockport County, Wembley Stadium. So did better than us when we went to Wembley. So big you up, Wilshere, man. And I saw a quote saying that I think that this cup victory was better for him than any that he's experienced as a player, and he's won a couple FA Cups with us. So yeah, obviously meant a lot to him. So yeah, big you up, Wilshere, man. He's my back pages still, man.
Would you take him over? Never mind.
Would you take Cesc?
Cesca's doing business still, isn't it?
Cesca's doing his thing, but
I know what's happening. You're jaded with former players.
Former players, all these projects, man. Get me someone proven, man. Give me someone proven.
Get this man, Jovial on stat.
But listen, man, it's been podcast Pundits, man. It's been the original crew, but he's been a guest today. Della Strada, giving us the knowledge, giving us the gems as per, man. Big you up for rolling up, man. Yeah, Joey, you've been an antagonist, but
let's get it.
You've been on form in this episode, and obviously it's been your boy Strives, man. So it's been podcast Pundits. We'll be here same time, same place next week. We're out.
Peace out.